Considering how many Hulk-like characters there are in the Marvel Comics, a whole lot of time has passed since we first saw the Hulk, and Marvel seems to have gotten the formula right, with more and more Hulk characters coming to the MCU, especially in the last couple of months, which brings me to today's video that I wanted to share with you. And without further ado, let's dive right in.
I have someone here that I'd like you all to meet. This is my son, Scar.
The latest She-Hulk Disney Plus series expanded the Hulk family, a series that was a joy to watch, suited for all ages. However, before I move forward, I should warn you that there will be spoilers up ahead regarding the series, and with that out of the way, let me continue. Many will argue that we did not even need the previous 7 or 8 episodes of the series. But there were some very well-hidden Easter eggs regarding the future of the MCU, with everything coming to a conclusion right at the end, and the fourth wall-breaking characteristic of She-Hulk came to fruition, with the fans finally seeing how things will work when the character is present, together with Deadpool, one of the few heroes that have the same ability. The ending of the series also showcased Scar, the son of Hulk, who, in the comics, has been around for a while. And even though many viewers were probably confused as to what he is doing on Earth, there might be a thing or two which will heavily depend on him moving forward. In the second season of the series, Hulk set off to Sakaar, the planet that Thor Ragnarok showcased, where Hulk found himself fighting as a gladiator for the Grand Master. Yeah, that one. And in the 9th episode, he came back with his son, Scar, which brings me to give you an idea as to who Scar is before I dive deeper into the character and what his story could be moving forward, and even what his arrival in the MCU could potentially hint at. In the comics, Scar is the son of Hulk and Kyra, the Old Strong. After her death, a cocoon fell into the Lake of Fire, and after a period of time, Scar emerges, appearing to be the age of a human boy. Then, a year later, he appears to have grown into a young adult after already spending some time in the swamps with Old Sam, who took Scar under his wing to raise, guide, and teach him. After he discovered him shortly after the Shadow People burned tattoos in his skin. It took Sam months to teach Scar to speak and wear a loincloth. Being an offspring of Hulk and Kyra, and under the care of the Shadow People for quite some time, he possessed the old power, an immense amount of power in his hands, which can be compared to the one that Galactus has, and the one that he gives to his heralds who search for a planet before he eats it. Galactus learns of Scar's old power and wants to eat the entire planet with Scar on it, so he flies and finds himself on Earth, where he becomes a student of his father, Hulk. The two later fought side by side, and after a few battles under his belt, he was proclaimed a hero. Scar is really strong. First, because he has everything that Hulk has, plus the old power, which was more than enough for him to take down Doom. Yeah, you heard me right. Scar was also part of the Dark Avengers group, who worked as a double agent on behalf of Steve Rogers. And during the fight with the new Avengers team, Scar revealed his true nature and hit that like button just like you should if you haven't done so already. But no, in reality, he revealed his true allegiances and knocked the Dark Avengers out. So you can see that Scar has a rich history in the Marvel Comics, something the MCU will likely try to exploit and mend it to an extent in order to make him fit within the MCU. However, his arrival to the MCU could also signal that there will not be a World War Hulk storyline taking place in the future. Something that many fans have been waiting for so long. But considering everything Hulk has done so far, the best parts of the World War Hulk storyline from the comics have already been used in the MCU. For instance, Avengers Age of Ultron showcased the different goals that Bruce Banner and the Hulk have. And rather than being banished, he chose to leave planet Earth and go to supposedly what the MCU would call Planet Hulk, and in the MCU called Sakaar. And the Planet Hulk story, of course, was loosely based on the Thor Ragnarok, where the absence of the Grand Master, it is possible that Scar grew up in a world interestingly enough to justify its own story and give Hulk a heroic reason to rule the world. And I am saying this, the World War Hulk storyline being a tight squeeze because of the Skrulls invasion coming to the Earth. So sending a Sakaar invasion force too would have been too much. And this is where Scar comes in, with his arrival possibly being a more straightforward, a tease what the second season of She-Hulk could be about. Now, I am not sure where Scar's next appearance will be, so he comes in the second season of She-Hulk. Maybe Jennifer could be the one to help Scar fit in with everyday society, adapting the narrative of what Old Sam did for Scar in the Marvel Comics. Mark Ruffalo does not seem to be bored or finished with the role of the Hulk, so it would be an interesting thing to see both him and Scar in the same project moving forward. And even if Marvel decides to implement the World War Hulk storyline, despite everything, then it would definitely be a whole new rendition of things, with it possibly following the second season of She-Hulk, if there is one, of course. The future of Scar in the MCU has to be one of the biggest mysteries as of late, but taking into consideration his history in the comics, I turned my focus towards the smashing of that subscribe button and ringing the notification bell. On the more serious side, however, I want to turn my focus to the two new teams that could appear as a form of connection to him, with Scar being part of the two teams at one point. I am talking about the aforementioned Young Avengers and the Dark Avengers, because let's face it, the MCU will need a lot more heroes moving forward, with each of the members of both of the teams having a say in the upcoming battle against Kang the Conqueror and the Secret War storyline that will get adapted in the MCU straight from the comics. The MCU so far has introduced most of the team members of the possible MCU Young Avengers lineup, including the likes of Kate Bishop in the Hawkeye series, America Chavez in the latest Doctor Strange sequel, Riri Williams, who will make her debut in the upcoming Black Panther sequel, Kid Loki in the Loki series, Cassie Lang in the upcoming Ant-Man sequel next year, and of course, the Scarlet Witch's twins, Tommy and Billy. Scar could be the one to fill in for Hulkling, the shape-shifting half-Kree, half-Skrull hybrid hero in the comics iteration of the team. And although Scar is not close to the Young Avengers team in the comics, Mark Ruffalo's Smart Hulk could decide to find him a spot in the team of Avengers in order to teach his son to be a hero, something that happened in the history of the comics for the character. One team Scar was actually a part of in the comics is the Dark Avengers lineup. And like the Young Avengers, this team is made up of original Avenger parallels, like Bullseye, who stands in for Hawkeye, Daken, who fills in for the role of Wolverine, and Norman Osborn, who uses the Iron Patriot armor to convince the world that he is the next Iron Man. The unexpected turn of events, however, came through Scar, who worked as a double agent sent by Steve Rogers. Thus, considering Scar could be set up to be the next generation's Hulk, the MCU's potential Dark Avengers movie has the chance to stay close to the source material, all because of Scar's introduction to the MCU. We'll see you in the next video.